Okay, Natalie, hello. I am recording your video and I'm at my kitchen table, so this isn't like the best, probably not the best, but I will definitely hold the cards up so you can see. I just wanted to tell you, I don't know what you were doing, although we're doing a reading now. So the place where I work, October's in Lakewood, is having a psychic fair, 12 to 8 tomorrow and 12 to 8 on Saturday. There's going to be poem reading, tarot, some oracle reads. There's 3 other readers there. Also, there is a woman who is there from out of town that's reading auras. She takes a photograph of you and it reads your aura. So just wanted to let you know if it's you, something fun, you know. I know your daughters are a little bit older, so I don't know. Just wanted to throw it out there. But either way, I'm glad that you reached out to me. I actually was thinking about you, so because I see your posts and whatever, so I was thinking about you, and I'm really glad you reached out. So anyway, I'm going to one more shuffle and cut the deck, and then lay down the cards. So I'm going to spread out the cards, but I will hold them up so you can see them as I go over. I'm doing the Celtic, so. And I will, as I'm reading this, I will let you know what cards are coming up. A lot of majors so far, so that's always change. Okay, so current situation, we have which it looks like an ending, the 10 of Wands reversed. So the 10 of Wands, and I'm using the you can't even see these that well the way I'm holding the camera. Anyways, the 10 of Wands is laying down burdens. It's an ending. It's a card of an ending. So it's actually really good when it's reversed because it is about asking for help. It is kind of about reaching out to others to unburden yourself. That's what this is. So this is about wanting to have an ending. Now, so far, I don't have any aces, so we'll have to see if there's a new beginning on the horizon. But the current situation right now is definitely laying down burdens, which could be a couple things. It could be you asking for help, but it's action. So it's not just kind of waiting around for help. It's kind of like, listen, guys, actively, I need help. So that could be for a variety of things. So, of course, we're going to get into this further. So what's complementing it is the Hermit. So this is a lot. This is a major arcana. So this is the card of Virgo. I'm using the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. I love it. My daughter got it for me, and it's one of the decks that I use at home. So anyway, what's complementing this ending or this end of a cycle, we can kind of look at it as a new beginning as far as you reaching out for help or you saying, hey, I need help. That's the first step. And a lot of times fire signs, Aries especially, don't really like to ask for help. That's just not something. It's like, I'll do it myself. I can handle it myself. It's that sort of energy. So it is being complemented by the Hermit. So the Hermit is the card of self-exploration. It's the card, it can be self-isolation, but that Hermit is about really, it's your time. This is about you. If you need help, if you need to do some alone time, if you need you time, it's very imperative at this time to get that. And sometimes when you need that alone time, that self-care time, you have to reach out for help. This is a major. The Hermit is a major, so I don't want to kind of negate the importance of this card because it's very important that you get your time. And I feel like you're either not asking for help or you're going to be starting to ask for help. And it's imperative. It's very important in this stage of where you're at in your life. Now, what's in the headspace is the Wheel of Fortune. So you can kind of see the Wheel of Fortune is also an ending. It's also an ending. But it's the karmic wheel. It's that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And this coming up in your headspace, it's kind of like, it's that things coming full circle sort of energy. It's, I think it's lessons learned. Basically, it's like, I think I've learned all the lessons that I need to learn. There's really not much else that I can learn at this point. I mean, there's always something you can learn, but in regards to this situation, and again, it's coming out in your headspace right above you kind of asking for help and laying down burdens and saying, hey, I don't know if I can do this alone. And this hermit is like, but I also need alone time and I need time for myself, and I'm not getting that. And again, as we go further in, I'm going to see exactly what kind of alone time you need, if it's a separation or if it's just you needing that alone time. Because everything here is pretty good. It looks pretty good. This Wheel of Fortune in your head is like, okay, I've learned the lessons that I need to learn and I'm ready for whatever's next. Okay. In your recent past, you have the Nine of Swords reversed. So the Nine of Swords, or the Nine of Needles, as this does it. The Nine of Swords is the stress, the insomnia, the anxiety card in the past. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to start doing things that are about me again. But it comes through hardship. It comes through pain. It comes through suffering. It comes through, hey, I know I don't want to do this anymore. I know that I want to move ahead. And that Nine of Swords is healing time. And it goes right along with that Hermit card of like, you need you time. It's imperative that self-care right now is imperative for you. And self-care can be however you see self-care. And again, when I have that Hermit, the self-care card can be just time alone. Quality time spent alone to kind of figure out what you want to do moving forward. Beautiful in the future, you have the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, which is the card of fruition. It is the card of abundance. So it's like, I almost feel like if I can just get some clarification, if I can just get some, not a clarification, if I can just get a break, if I can just kind of get some breathing room, it's beautiful. I mean, I love the Nine of Pentacles. This is stuff coming to fruition. This is that abundance card. And interestingly enough, in the foundation for your spread, you have the World. So these are like suited cards, the Wheel of Fortune and the World. The Wheel of Fortune, again, is in your headspace about that karmic wheel. About, okay, I've learned lessons. I'm ready to move on. What's next? And that's where you need to go inward. And then in the foundation of your spread, you have the World, which is another ending. You have 3 cards of endings. So it's time with these endings, it's time to force a brand new beginning. It's time to ease in, not even force. It's time to ease into a brand new beginning. And if it's something that has to be forced, the advice here, you have some, the 2 majors, the Wheel and the World. That think of the World and the Wheel. This is about regeneration. This is about coming back to life, reinvention. But it's out with the old, in with the new. So I'm hoping there's an ace over here, because there's really definitely it's imperative that you get some sort of closure, some sort of ending here. All right. How you feel about the situation? We have the Chariot. So the Chariot is like one of those cards of full steam ahead. Now, I will also say that the Chariot is about moving. It can physically be about moving. It can be a spiritual journey, or it can be physically about moving. And you do have some cards here of endings and moving away from a situation into more abundance. So it could be you moving out from bad habits, or it literally could be, you really taking a break, you moving forward with your life. Let's see what's in the external. I'm curious. So we have the Seven of Swords. So in your external, it's like, I don't like the Seven of Swords. This is, I do and I don't. This is all a tactical thing. This is coming out in your external. The Seven of Swords could be, you could be dealing with some dishonesty. You could be dealing with, some dishonesty, some people not speaking their truth. And this is coming out in your external. So I'm going to take a clarifier. Yeah, we have the Queen of Candles. So this is the Queen of Wands. This is your queen, girl. So this is kind of like, you need to come into your own. Somebody's not being truthful, it almost feels like. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race. And I will go over this. And then you have, interestingly enough, you have the Nine of Wands reverse, which is the Wounded Warrior. Okay, so we have a tactical. We have somebody that around you that's not being honest, not speaking their truth. Not being honest with this Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is not dumb. This is you. The Queen of Wands is like, You can't do this to the Queen of Wands. You have to be truthful because the Queen of Wands will know when you're not being truthful. And also know when you have taken your attention away. That's how the Queen of Wands knows you're not truthful, because that attention is being sucked away from the Queen of Wands. Where's this attention going? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is, it's kind of like a slow moving energy. Like, is this something that's creeping up? Is this something that is that definitely needs to be explored, that needs to be kind of talked about, it's weird because you do have this fast moving energy about how you feel about the situation. It's like you just want to like rush off, rush. But this Knight of Pentacles is like, things will be revealed. And then you have the Nine of Wands reversed, which is kind of the wounded warrior, about not knowing if you want to put yourself back in this race, not knowing if you want to go back in, like suffering wounds and healing, because you also have the Nine of Swords, which is kind of that insomnia, depression card that you're healing from. So it's like, do I want to keep doing this? Do I kind of want to repeat these patterns? The Wheel of Fortune suggests absolutely not do I want to repeat these patterns. The Hermit is like, what can I do? I need to get out of these cycles. The World and the foundation of your spread is like, I absolutely do not want to repeat these patterns. I want to regenerate. I want to reinvigorate, regenerate, transmute this energy. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep repeating cycles. And then finally we have the Five of Wands reversed. This is inner conflict, but it's reversed. So some sort of cooperation or agreement needs to be had with this in your external. So to be clear, again, the first card was the Seven of Swords, which is, again, somebody's not speaking their truth. There's some dishonesty, but it's also the card of tactical maneuvers. So this Queen of Wands knows something is different. This Queen of Wands is not happy. And again, I'm not quite 100% sure what it's in regards to. I don't necessarily get it. There's not a ton of cups and there's not pentacles. So there's not a ton of pentacles and there's not a ton of cups. So it's almost like just a life overhaul, to be honest. I know that's vague, but that's kind of what's coming out. This Queen of Wands is kind of like, I need to be on top again. I need to be inspired again. And we have this Knight of Pentacles, which is like, okay, but we can't just go rush and doing what we want. I know this Chariot, that's the card of how you feel about the situation, is like, you just want to burn it down. But the external is saying, let's just take our time. There could be some sort of resolution that we can come to with this. That you don't have to put yourself back into the race or back into the battle. There might be other options. And then we have the Five of Wands reversed, which talks about coming to some sort of agreement, some sort of cooperation. And these are the cards that are in your external. So again, I think there's just different life. I know that's really, really, really vague, but the cards are not, basically the cards are like, saying that you need to lay down burdens. Yes, you've learned lessons. So what are you going to do with those lessons? Are you going to rejuvenate? Are you going to regenerate yourself? Are you going to take those lessons and do anything with them? It suggests in the future, the Nine of Pentacles, that yeah, you are. I mean, that's the card of abundance. That's the card of happiness. All right. So hopes and fears. We have the Four of Cups in your hopes and fears. This is about not wanting to miss any opportunities. You see the 3 full cups here, but then there's a 4th one here that you don't see. So there's a lot of opportunities. I don't know if you're thinking about going back to work or changing a job or something like that. I don't have a ton of pentacles, but there's some sort of opportunity that you don't want to miss out on. But at this point, you're not quite ready. It's like you have to kind of get your head right. And then the outcome. And this guy, when I was shuffling, this Knight of Cups wanted to come out. And he is reversed and he's in your outcome. This is kind of about letting go of ideals, letting go of preconceived notions, letting go of what you wanted to see happen as opposed to realistically what's going to happen. But it's, again, when I see the Knight of Cups reversed, it's all about that self-love. It's about, what do you want? What does Natalie want? And that's what the key is. Because we don't have an ace yet. We don't have a brand new beginning yet. We have endings indicated all over here, but there's still work that needs to be done on your part, and that work to me is self-work. It is, I hate to use the word self-care, but that's exactly what it is. It's taking care of yourself, laying down burdens. If you need time to yourself, if you especially with this external situation, that's not my favorite here, but at the same time, this Queen of Wands in your external, which is you, it's like energy is shifted, and Queen, your sign is knows about those subtle changes in somebody's patterns, in somebody's behaviors. So that's what I would say. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. You'll have to let me know if you need any clarification. That's the thing about doing this over this. Like, if you need clarification, I can't pull any cards. But if you need any clarification, I can always pull more cards. But the message is clear. This is that Knight of Cups in your future being reversed is like, okay, you need to, maybe let go of some of the outcomes that you think you want, and just really kind of go internal, and maybe it's people pleasing, to be honest. The Knight of Cups reverse could be that, you're worried about, what other, and I know you have a family, and so maybe you're worried about that kind of thing. You're worried about, there's other people involved. It's not just you. But this is indicating you do need to be selfish and take some time for yourself. I'm not super excited about what's going on in the external. Somebody's not speaking their truth. Could be you, but it could be somebody, you're significant. And there is some sort of agreement that needs to be reached, but there is conflict. There's inner conflict, and it's like, you have 3 nines. So you have the 9 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. So the 2 reversals I'll talk about first. In your past, you have the 9 of Swords. I like the 9 of Swords reversed, because it talks about healing. It's like you've been through the worst of it, and you're still healing. And there's a lot of you've dealt with a lot so far: the depression, anxiety, insomnia, just grief, basically. And so you're starting to get a handle on that. And so we go to your future, and you have one of the best cards that you can get, which is the 9 of Pentacles, which is the fruition card, which is the card of abundance. And that doesn't necessarily have to be money. It's happiness. It's stability. It's one card away from, legacy and inheritance and a happy household. It's and when I say inheritance, I don't necessarily mean monetary. The inheritance can be just having a stable household, but. And again, in your headspace, the Wheel of Fortune and the World, we have 2 cards of, circle, of things coming full circle. In your headspace, it's that wheel, it's that karmic wheel. Like, okay, I've learned lessons. Now what can I do with those lessons? Foundation for your spread, you have the World, which is, again, talks about regeneration, rejuvenation, and both those cards are about endings. And then you have the 3 of Wands reversed, which is in the outcome, which is like, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I can keep putting myself back in this race. We have to come to some sort of agreement. And so this Chariot, which is super fast moving energy, is how you feel about it. Like, I just want to move forward. Which I get. And we're actually in Cancer season now. And the Chariot is Cancer. So this is something that you're dealing with right now. That it's like you're torn. It's like, should I, I've learned all I need to learn about the situation. I need to move forward. But again, you don't have an ace. So without an ace, there can't be a brand new beginning yet, because there's still some things that have to be resolved. And I do believe there's some sort of agreement that has to come to. So I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck and see what you don't see coming. So we have the Hierophant reversed. So the Hierophant reversed is really about using your intuition. It's about thinking outside, solutions outside of yourself, outside of the box, outside of what you normally would do. And again, because you have the Chariot, I would say this is something that needs to be dealt with, fairly soon, because you've learned lessons. And we don't have an ace yet. And I was hoping there'd be an ace. So it's like, okay, what is holding you up? I mean, the Knight of Pentacles here does say, okay, yeah, take it a little slow. But what it's saying is, it's more about being tactical. So it's not about rushing, but yet it's not about being stagnant and just not getting what your needs met. Because again, you have this 10 of Wands reversed and the 10 of, in your current situation, and the 10 of Wands reversed is about laying down burdens and asking for help. And this Hermit that is complimenting it is like, yes, you need time for yourself. So anyways, I hope this resonates with you. Again, it's not really clear that it's love or career. It's more of a life path thing, like a whole overhaul. Really, honestly, that's kind of what this is. Like it's really kind of your turn to kind of figure out what do you want to do moving forward. This isn't necessarily saying make a move and do it now. This is saying really, really, really start going internal and saying, well, what do I want? Start asking yourself the hard questions, those questions of like, well, I don't know, do I want this? Do I want that? I don't know. I think you do know, but and then your hopes and fears, that 4 of Cups, which is like, yeah, everything's okay, but, the 4th cup is coming down from the universe, like, okay, but there's something missing. So that's what I would say. If you need, and again, this reading is interesting because it's not real apparent whether, so it's probably across the board. There's probably some changes that you'd like to see happening, but it starts with you, as corny as that is. So if you need any clarification, just reach out to me. I'm going to upload this to you and send it. But again, if you need clarification, just shoot me a message and we can always pull some more cards. But anyways, Natalie, thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you.